competition was a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. Kelly was in the middle relaying the directions to me, and I think we got a little lost. Like, her orange was red to me, so we were falling behind. We weren't gonna get there. Josh putting up, can I skip to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Josh putting her up was not great for me. Well, it was good and it was bad, because the reasoning that he put her up, that she was worried about the veterans here, that is a concern, because I've played games before, but also I feel like I've been vibing with Kelly and I really wanted her to stay, so it's just going to come down to if she wins the competition or not. But I'm going to try to be very fluid and not hold too strong to my alliances, because I feel like that has dragged me down in games before. So I'm with anyone. I can't have any ties to anyone. That's my new strategy.
Do you know anybody here? Do you have any ties with anybody?
Yeah, so I know people here. Actually, this is gonna be, even saying it, it's gonna be way harder than I thought it was. I know Taylor and I know Connor. It would be way easier for me to backstab Connor than Taylor. Connor and I play games all the time. That's fine. Connor's my boyfriend. Taylor's a friend, and I like him so much, and I would feel bad being ratty to him, but there is only 9 people in this, and we're gonna have to be ratty to someone at some point. So I'm gonna work with him right now, but again, I'm fluid.
Cool. Go ahead.
So I was really excited to be paired up with Mist in the first round. The 2 people that I kind of know here are Mist and Anthony. I've played minis with Anthony, and Mist watched me play Resilience, another game. And I don't actually know Mist, but he kind of interacted through being a spectator. So really excited to be paired with Mist. We didn't win that, which was unfortunate, but Josh was the captain on the other team, and Josh is editing my season of Reelfoot that I just played. So again, I don't know Josh, but Josh was like, hey, I've got you, we have the Reelfoot connection. So I'm feeling like simultaneously well insulated, but also, like, Mackenzie told me, oh, I heard some scary things about you. Other people have said they know that I've played a lot of games. So I think that's gonna work against me. I think eventually and also I keep winning these, whatever they're called. I keep winning the comps, the first ones. So even though I don't think there's like a whole ton of skill involved in that, it just doesn't look good. So I'm a little bit worried that I'm gonna be targeted soon, but.
So you said it might not be good that you're winning so much, so are you gonna do anything differently?
No, I'm very competitive, so I can't say I'm gonna try to lose. Again, because I know people know that I've played a lot of games, I am worried that I'm going to be targeted for that reason. So I have to keep winning, but I also think if I keep winning, then that just doesn't look good. But I am super competitive. I can't not try at a comp. So I'm gonna continue trying hard and hope that Anthony doesn't go out right now, but I think Anthony is leaving. I did not really think through the strategy of putting the teams together. I was thinking that we were working together for some reason, and I really wanted to build something with Taylor. I wanted Mist to be with, who's Mist with? Anthony, I think? Or Josh. I put Mist with Josh because I was hoping to work with both of them. I put Connor with Anthony because I was hoping to work with both of them, and then the 2 ladies who I haven't really talked to, and Mackenzie was the one who said that she's heard threatening things about me. So I was hoping that I could pick teams that I wanted to be safe, and it didn't really work out that way. But the only person who is unsafe right now that I want to be safe is Anthony.
Okay, I'm gonna pause for a second because go ahead and start.
So this round, we started with a picture hunt, like find the difference game, and Trinica won that, and that afforded her the power to give her team an advantage in the next competition. And the next competition was a team advantage. There were 3 teams, and my team ended up coming out on top. So the game was that we had to, the first person had to find a holiday card and describe it to the captain. I was the captain. And then I had to go and describe it to the 3rd player, and she had to find it. And when she found it, inside the card was a tanagram puzzle, and then I had to return to my spot and describe the tanagram puzzle for player 1. And we ended up winning that competition, so that gave us the power to choose who to throw into the elimination round. Because I was a captain, I have that sole power. So I met with my team and I met with all the players, and we kind of came up with a couple names. So Connor, your name got thrown out. I wasn't lying when I said that to you, by a couple of the girls, I think. To be honest, when you asked who it was, I didn't really remember. I just remembered it was like 2 people. And then the other names that got thrown out were Mist. You kind of scared everybody in that ball maze game that everyone was practicing. You killed it, so everyone was kind of scared of you, so your name came up a lot. It wasn't, I didn't really want to throw you in because I know you traveled far like I did, and you seem like somebody I would want to work with, but I kind of just wanted to go with the house for one of the picks. And then Kelly, oh my God, I did not want to do new people first. I've been the new person who's been targeted because like I was the newbie, so I did not want to do that. If you would have said anything else in our conversation, it would not have been you, but you let slip that you wanted the veterans out first, and I've played 2 other games, so when you said that, that kind of stuck with me and kind of made me nervous. So I don't know what will happen. Mist was more open to working with me, and he kind of got that, or at least he said he got why I would throw him in. So I think maybe I want him to come back because he's like easier to work with, but on the other hand, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know what's going to happen. Being the first person to make that decision is kind of rough, but we'll kind of just see how it plays out.
So tell me, or tell the camera, the first activity book, how did you feel when you were doing it, and like how well did you do? And
so for the first activity book, the like find the difference scavenger hunt kind of thing, we had to find 5 differences in a picture of a scene from Mean Girls, which I love Mean Girls. And that one was a little tough. The first 4 differences I could find like pretty well, or pretty easily. And then that 5th difference I could not find, and it turned out to be one of the girls' hair. And I just couldn't see it that well because of the lighting. But it was a fun game. Glad Trinica won. I'm hoping she'll be my number 1. So I was happy to see her win that.
so how are you feeling right now at this moment about your choices for who you threw in?
I mean, I'm never feeling good about my choices. That's kind of like my whole vibe. But yeah, I don't know. Mist seems like a strong player, so if he comes back, I am worried he's going to target me, even though he said he got Y, and I mean, it was my choice, but like he was the name that kept coming up. And then I'm a little nervous if Kelly comes back because like she fired the first shot in that war, but like I fired right back and letting people know that like, hey, she was coming for vets. And I wouldn't say I'm coming for the rookies. Like I have no plans on going after like a vet or anything. It was just kind of like, oh, you said the wrong thing. So I don't know what will happen with whoever comes back, but hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me in the butt.
Cool. Anything else you want to add, or are you good?
No, I think I'm good.
Cool. So first round, first activity, find the differences.
Mm-hmm.
What's going through your head?
So I had looked at that page before it started, and I'd kind of found some stuff beforehand, but the hair, I wouldn't have got the hair thing. That I looked at that like 8 or 9 times, and I wasn't gonna be able to get that. So I've been going through this book and like looking at the puzzles and like seeing like the baseball one. If that one comes up, it's behind his like, it's behind his like right elbow or like right arm or something. That's where the baseball is. So I don't know. Puzzle. I'm bad at puzzles, so I'm trying to get as much of an advantage on puzzles as I can.
Awesome. Okay, so Trinica wins the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're broken up into teams. Were you feeling any type of way during that team challenge where like...
No, not really. Like, she said she got the advantage, so she gave us an easier envelope, which was cool. And then I found the envelope before everybody else did, and then we got to the puzzle first. I think those puzzles are just kind of difficult, especially if you're relaying that information. So it like wasn't really a thing. I did get nervous though after, because when I came in here, Josh, right? Yeah, Josh was saying that 2 people had said my name, and I was like, who was it? And he wouldn't tell me. And I was like, all right. And then I kind of left. But, so I thought maybe he would nominate me because of that, but he didn't do that. So I didn't make him go first in this game that I got to pick.
Yeah, so have you tried to figure out who said your name, or like, what are you doing with that?
I mean, like, whatever. It is what it is. It's flattering to me when people start saying names, because it's like, I don't know really anything about anybody here except for like, I think 2 people, and then I know Anthony from like online games. I'm like 99% sure it's the person that I'm thinking of. So I know like they play, and they like know who I am. But like genuinely, I don't know. I feel like people will just like, they'll start picking people and saying names and stuff. Because someone said Miss name, but that made sense because he did the puzzle in front of everybody. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So I know who you know, but these people might not know who you know. So you want to explain it?
So Mackenzie and Taylor, I know from a game that we played together. And then Anthony from online games. But Mackenzie's my girlfriend. But that bears no relevance on what I will and will not do. That's, she's like, if, like, it gets so difficult. I haven't played a Big Brother-esque game before, though. So I'm gonna have to see. What's going on. But if she gets rich, I'm gonna fucking take her out. I will say that on camera. If she gets rich, I'm gonna take the money, because I think that's what we're supposed to do. And in all the other games where currency has been involved, I've put that to like the side and just acted like mad chaotic and stuff. So I kind of want to focus on the money a little bit. So I will say that. But right now she's not doing anything to me, so I got no reason. It would be sick though if she's the one that said my name, which I kind of think it, like maybe she did, but I don't know. Who knows? There's 9 of us.
So whenever you're ready, tell me how you felt.
Okay. So yes, the first competition was crazy. Honestly, I didn't think that we were gonna do well because they had me on the puzzle, and I thought it was actually putting a whole tanagram puzzle together, but it was actually just forming a shape. So when we started, one of my team members, she was the last one to find the answer key that we needed. So I was already like, oh, we're gonna lose, but good communication got us the win. And yeah, so very excited to get the first W. I'm not the first one out of the game. That's all I wanted. And yeah.
So you're on the winning team, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about winning?
Yeah, so I felt really good about winning the first one. My whole goal is just not to be the first boot, since this is my first LRG. So yeah, I'm excited. And now that we've gotten through one round and we kind of got the feels and everybody's kind of like loosened up a little bit, I think it's going to be a lot more fun, but it's also going to get a lot more stressful for sure.
And then how do you feel about the people that Josh picked?
Yeah, so Josh picked 2 people that I don't really know. So, I mean, I don't really know everybody here. I know maybe like 1 or 2 people. The 2 people he picked, obviously one of them missed. I think everybody kind of agreed to put Mist in. I think Mist is very vocal and likable, and so I think that's why he went with Mist. As far as Kelly, I think she said some things that were like kind of sketchy, and so I think that's why she went in.
How did you feel during the first activity book challenge?
Okay, so the first activity book challenge was fun actually, and I had it. I got 4, it was 5 answers. I got 4 of them immediately. I could not find the 5th one. It was the coffee cup, and I drink coffee every day. It's my favorite thing in the world, and of course I missed the coffee cup. But honestly, I don't know if I necessarily wanted to win the first competition either. So, but glad we got to kind of get an idea of what's in that book and what we're going to be doing. So,
any final things you want to add?
Yeah, I'm just excited again to be here, and we'll see what happens.
Perfect. So, start off like, how did you feel during the first activity book?
I was nervous at the beginning, just not knowing, like, just what I would, like, all the I don't know. I'm not very good at challenges. Just because I'm more of I feel like I'm very yellow, like very caring, I want everybody to get along. So, but I'm very competitive. So it was, I don't know. I don't know what the word I'm trying to look for is, but just the unknown.
Explain how you felt during the was it the Naughty and Nice challenge when y'all were outside running around? Like, explain to me like what your position was and like how you felt during it.
So I was the third person on the team. So Anthony had to look at the card, and then he told Josh what it was, and then he had to explain to Josh what it was, and then Josh had to tell me. And so if you've ever played that game where you tell somebody like a secret, or you tell somebody a sentence, and then by the time it gets to the last person, it's nowhere near what it was at the beginning. And so when Josh told me what it was, I didn't hear exactly what it was. I just remember part of it. And so my part was, it was like a cozy Christmas with a picture, with like a sweater or something like that. And so I didn't hear the sweater part of it. So I was looking for a cozy Christmas, or whatever the phrase was on the card. So I was pulling cards, and it wasn't there. So then I thought, oh man, maybe they put it at the back. So then I started pulling from the back, and it was the very last card, because it was pretty much right in the middle. So I was just trying to do my part to like hurry up and get my team to win the challenge.
And you were on the winning team?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask a question then answer it. How did you feel when y'all won?
I was really excited just to get the first challenge over and done with. Just gained a little, what's the word? Confidence. Because I've never played before, so I just wasn't sure. So just to grab that little bit of confidence right off the bat, that was good for me.
And then, how do you feel about Josh's picks for the Santa Showdown?
I mean, it made sense, and I know that I think for me that's the hardest part, because it's like, how do you go and you pick someone, especially right at the beginning? So for me, I had picked Mist, and the only reason I picked him was because he was so good at so much. So I was like, kill the top talent. And then Kelly is the only one that I know, so I was a little bummed to see them pick her, but strategically I understood why he picked her. So it'll be a good challenge, and then whoever's left, if Mist ends up staying and I end up on a team with him or doing a game with him, like, it'll be an advantage because he is really smart. And then if Kelly stays, I know her personally, so it'll be great if she stays too.
Perfect. That was activity book. Find the differences. Tell me how you did, or tell all of us how you did.
For the activity book, for Gretchen Wieners, I had looked at it beforehand, since they allowed us to look through the book, and I had found 4 out of the 5. So I was like, oh, I got this. I already circled 4 right away. And I couldn't find the last one until the last second was called. So very close. Didn't win it.
How did you feel?
I don't think I need to win the first challenge, but I already feel like I came off as a threat because during the pregame, I did the first little tumbling challenge thing, and everyone saw that, and they're like, okay, wow, that's very scary. So I didn't need to win the first one anyways.
How did you feel in the team challenge? Like, maybe in your head, how were you feeling during that moment, and how did you feel during it?
During the team challenge, I enjoyed how everyone had a job. I felt very productive. Everyone was working well together, and we had the easiest one. But it just came down to one little thing being flipped. And I feel like if we, I don't know, not to blame Trinica or anything, but if she had said the right thing to turn around, we would have won because we were the first to check in. But it was one thing was flipped incorrectly, and I wouldn't have like we wouldn't have lost.
So were you mad at Trinica during that?
I'm not mad at Trinica, but I feel like if we're working on a challenge with very specific shapes, it's one thing that you throw out. She just said the triangle goes here, and then left it there, and like didn't tell me which direction the triangle was pointing. So I don't know. That's a little mark against them.
So when Josh's team won and it was announced that he was going to pick, how did you feel in that moment?
I didn't feel as worried about getting thrown in. I don't know a lot of people. I don't have any targets. I don't think anybody necessarily wanted to get me out. So I didn't really care who won or lost in that moment.
So Josh does his picks. He says you. He explains why. Tell us how you felt, what you were thinking in that moment.
Before then, everyone's having their conversations with Josh, and I wanted to try and go in last because I wanted to be the last person to have any say. But Trinica pulls me aside because they went in first and was like, Josh wants to throw you. Apparently, the other teammates wanted you in. So I already knew going into the conversations that I was going to be kind of thrown in by everyone. And Josh, when he told me in the conversations that I was probably going to be going in, he said that a lot of people threw out my name. So I was expecting going in. I didn't think he would actually follow through after we talked. I was hoping like maybe you'd hear me out and like I don't really have any alliances. Everyone's throwing me in. So like why would you pick one person out? But I'm glad that I was chosen. I get to have like reasons to target somebody and it's not just like going off of randomness. Now I have a reason like, oh, I want to get you out because you picked me first.
So how did you feel about the other person that was picked against you?
I was terrified because I feel like Kelly looked experienced. Had said like already went gung-ho, like I want to get these people out. And I feel like if you're going to be that type of person, you're going to be really good at challenges. And knowing that it was like a psych challenge, I knew that she was going to be kind of an iron face. Like I knew I was not going to get any information off of her from that game.
So I wasn't up there. I didn't see it. Give me a short, sweet version of how you thought the game was going.
Mm-hmm. During the game, it was very tense. I think I started off way too weak. And so I was throwing out middling numbers and Kelly was winning a lot of them, which was very bad strategy in this kind of game where if you're getting rid of your middle numbers and losing to that, you're wasting a lot of points. You should be losing with your smaller numbers. So I was already feeling like on the back foot. But then I realized very early on that she was using only her highest numbers. So by the end of the game, it very quickly switched around to get a tie during the first one. During the second one, I tried a different strategy. I tried to go lower because I felt like she was keeping her tiny numbers to the end. And I was able to win the last round against her one with my 2. So that was very good. Perfect execution. I think it was great to win at that one.
So you just won. How are you feeling?
I feel amazing. I feel really good. I know that people see me as a target already, so a few challenges under my belt is not bad. I'm excited to create more of a threat for myself so that people are afraid to go after me and use that threat status to get people out.
How did it feel seeing somebody's picture get thrown in the fire?
That was sick and twisted. We kind of expected, someone said it and then Santi laughed, but seeing the actual fire like curling up and burning, I don't want that to be mine. That's not going to be mine.